We're going to call the Transportation Commission meeting to order at 5 o'clock. Roll call.
All right. We have Carolyn Peterson is not present. Nicole Lisney is not present. Alder Allison Burr.
Here.
Tom Bertram.
Present.
Neil Prendergast.
Here.
Heidi Oberstadt.
Here.
And Alder Dean Shuda.
Here.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the October 14th, 2024 minutes. You all should have that in your packets. I would entertain a motion to approve when ready.
So move.
Oh, Allison will say Allison moved it, and Dean, do you want to second it?
Sure.
Perfect. Okay, we've got a motion and we've got a second. Is there any discussion? Going once. Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 All those opposed, say no. Any abstentions? Okay, next, item number 3, approval of the October and November 2024 financial claims report. And we can do these together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, those should be in your packets as well. Someone, when ready.
Move to approve.
Allison moves to approve both the October and November 24, or October and November 2024. Okay? Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Heidi seconds it. Okay, motion to approve the minutes or the financial claims report. Any discussion? Then we will take this to vote. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed? All those abstaining? Motion passes. Okay, item number 4, calendar year 2025 fare structure approval. I will turn it over. Talk.
So pretty easy. We don't have, I don't have any proposed updates or any recommended updates from staff. So everything here is the same, but just something that I'm going to bring every year. Looking budgetarily, we might request to make some changes next year, but right now we're fine where we're sitting. So just recommend keeping them the same.
So we need a motion.
So move.
So Dean moves, and this is to approve the calendar year 2025 fare structure. Okay.
Yes.
Do we have a second? Okay, thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Oh, I saw Neil raise his hand. We'll go with Neil. Okay, there's a motion to approve it, and there's a second. Any discussion? Colin, when was the last time the rates changed?
We did change the, a little bit of the structure. Last year, we moved up the agency fare. The year before that, we did move down our monthly pass rates. And then it was a few years before that that we had increased our rates from $1 to $1.25. And I think we went like 10 years or even more before, maybe 20 years before that, at that flat rate.
And financially, things are pretty good.
Yeah, yep. And, but it does have an effect, that local amount, even if it's a few thousand. But in working with, the biggest effect is working with agencies, and you can kind of see that in our budget. That's our kind of big money item for working with fares.
Okay. Any other discussion? Okay, we'll vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 All those opposed? Abstentions?
I
Okay,
didn't
motion
abstain,
passed.
but I couldn't unmute fast enough. So I was an aye for the record. Sorry.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, Heidi. Okay, that motion passes. Okay, item number 5, calendar year 2025, 5311, 85.20, budget and grant application review and approval. And that should be the last pieces in the packet.
Yeah. So, every year we come with approval to apply for the 5311. That is, the majority of where our funding comes from. 5311 is the federal grant that reimburses us 50% of our expenses, and then, the 8520 is budgeted by the state, what they have every year, and then that goes into the same pile. So, that's where, normally our expenses get reimbursed between 54 and 57%, depending on where the state is with budgeting things. But I do have our breakdown on our budget this year. Year after year, we stay the same on operating costs. And if you sit in on the city's budgeting discussions or meeting, it's kind of the same across the city. We've stayed the same on operating costs. We try to leverage as many grants as we can, and then our big increases are to our budget are in wages and fuel, because we can't control fuel going up. But on the other side of that, this fuel budget is the same as last year, so we should be we should be fine in the range that we're sitting at based on where we ended up. But you'll see it's in fixed route and Point Plus. Some of that Point Plus budget is the county services that go in for these grants, and the county does pay their local share towards that. Through grants with the county-city merger that we do. But I'll just highlight our biggest cost is always salaries, health insurance, and fuel. If there's any questions, happy to answer.
Expenses spelled wrong. Not that this is probably going anywhere.
I can correct it.
So you need a motion to approve?
Yes.
Okay, do we have a motion? Someone would like to make a motion to approve? I see Neil's hand raising. So Neil is moving to approve the calendar year 2025 5311 8520 budget and grant application.
I'll second.
Okay, Allison seconds. Okay, it's been moved and seconded. So any other discussion? Okay, let's take it to a vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Those opposed, say no. Okay, any abstentions? That motion passes. Okay, it looks like the next item is the next meeting. I guess before we do that, is there any staff updates?
So we do have one retirement. One of my favorite driver is retiring. She's been here for 25 years. And then, and we've already posted and hired her replacement. So that's been really good. We really tried to structure to make it a good position starting out and offer better hours. And that's really paid off for us. Like, people are knocking on the door to get in here.
Okay.
A lot of friends that work for transit.
Oh, really?
I have 3 friends that work for transit.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's great. They love it.
Okay.
And if they have any more friends,
Okay.
they could, I mean, next retirement, someone could go work here.
Right.
No other retirements on the horizon?
Nothing on the horizon, but
Okay.
not that I want to guess at.
Okay. And can we ask does anyone else have any other questions before we move on?
Okay, well, I guess, on like Stevens Point,
mobility transportation page. There was somebody that made a comment about the red line
Yeah,
and how it was confusing.
yeah. Okay.
And we're a super big fan, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm not like,
Okay.
100% like well-versed on all of our routes.
Yeah,
I know one of like the, I guess, complaints was like lack of benches, lack of seating,
sure.
especially if the bus only comes once an hour,
Mhm.
you know, you don't want to be standing there forever, I guess. I tried to get like more details out of her, I guess.
Yeah.
But I couldn't get a whole heck of a lot. Let me just see if I can find the post again and, just see. Yeah, she's like, she's like, bus route screwed up and you have no idea what the heck and where the heck the bus is going.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. And I hoped, I was like, well, can you message me with any like additional comments or like something like a little bit more specific so I can actually like try to resolve something, because it's a little hard when just, you know, you just complain about a route in general. But I don't, so I guess told her I'd bring it up.
Mhm.
So I wanted to bring it up.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and a couple things that I can bring up. So this doesn't have to do with this, but real quick, I just want to update you guys on some previous things that we talked about at the meeting that I keep going, oh, I'm going to bring that up. I'm going to let them know. One was the previous route changes that we had done. We did hit some delays with the route changes, and our staff wanted to, just in implementing them and putting them out there, wanted to wait for the new year. So those are happening January 1st, the last route changes that we talked about. And a long time ago, we talked about extending our hour routes.
Mhm.
Though that's also going to happen in 2025, January 1st, right away. So you should see that information out there getting released. And yeah, like I said, I think that's going to be a big improvement for our routes, that just that, even that hour later, kind of picking up that last loop and extending our service to help people in the evenings. Being a smaller fixed route system, we try to, we have these hour routes and these half an hour routes, and you have to time them out to ride them.
Right.
It's not like a big city where there's multiple buses on one route, there's just one. So I just want to acknowledge, like, sometimes
Right.
that is difficult. There's not another bus on the way. And then sometimes we're also leveraging like servicing a part of town versus making the bus route efficient. Like, we want the buses, the long routes, to go out and come back the same way. So you can catch it going out, catch it coming back, but it doesn't always work that way. Like Red Route, you know, is the one that I would give that example to. A lot of people do use that route the way it is, but like even me looking at it, I'm going, is this the best way? You know, you kind of have some gives and takes when you go. So we have done a decent amount of route changes over the last 3 or 4 years. So then addressing the like seating and infrastructure on the routes is something that is becoming something that people are more and more aware of. We've added 3 or 4 benches on routes, but like 3 or 4 throughout the whole city.
Right.
It's a huge thing. And then, you know, that plus shelters and kind of deciding where we want to put those. So I think more and more the consensus is pushing for a plan. And we have partnered a little bit with community development to make a plan for that infrastructure side of it. So we'll just keep following up on that.
Well, say like benches wise,
Mm-hmm.
could you like partner with like a Boy Scout troop or something?
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like that can be like their community service thing and just donate a bunch of benches to transit. If that's like an okay thing. That was just like where my mind went right away. I was like, oh, I'm like, well, it seems like, you know, it would be obviously like helping out their community in a way that people have been requesting while also satisfying like their, you know, their volunteer hours or whatever
Yeah,
they are have to do.
And there are like some pretty good ARP grants out there and things like that that can help with just like these small projects. And that's what we did for the last round of benches. But if there's luckily we're small, so when individual complaints come up, we can just address them and figure them out
Yeah.
there, you know, so looking for that side of things, and we can always send Kate now. How many people did you travel train last month?
Oh, this year I did like 42, I think.
42.
Yeah.
Good work.
So the feedback that you received, or I guess you were able to follow up more?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, I'll get back.
okay, yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Anything else from the group? Going once? Going twice? Okay, so the next meeting is going to be January 13th, 2025 at 5 PM. So do we have to move a motion to adjourn, or do we just adjourn?
We just adjourned.
Okay, with that, we are adjourned.